that interesting viral video from was it Kevin Samuels, I believe.
Correct.
That's very interesting. The your average at best went viral. It's right now on his YouTube channel. It's over 200,000 views. Um,
hmm It had
give
over 7 million views when it came to World Star Hip Hop.
oh,
Mm.
cause that's World Star, you know.
hmm
So give us a quick rundown, and we can
Okay, the
discuss.
rundown. Kevin Samuels is an image consultant. What that means is that he tries to make sure that you're the best version of you. So normally he started only dealt with men, then he started dealing with men and women. And the specific video that I'm speaking about that went viral was a young lady called in on his show, and she had an option to pay him to have a private session or stay on, use the time that she was given, but he was able to upload the video for the public to see. She
One quick
decided to do the
caveat:
latter. Go ahead.
you're playing fast and loose with the word "young" when you're talking about that lady.
So, so, this nigga here.
It kind of
So,
all off track.
so Kevin and her have a conversation on having a high value man, and what a high value man is a man that makes over 6 figures. And so that's where it starts. The reason that it went viral is because by the end of the conversation, that the woman wasn't taking in the information properly to where she could just what she has to offer, she can afford something average, but she didn't want to accept that. And I'm not saying average is bad. Mostly everybody's average. Only the top 10% of men make over $100,000. So when she prefaces, well, I want somebody that makes that, the entire 90% of men that are in this country, she says, I don't want to even think about that they exist. I don't see them. But go ahead, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on that?
I
Well,
thought it
one thing
was
I do want to point out. Oh,
go go
you can go ahead,
go
sir.
go ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
go
Take,
go go.
thank you. One thing that I do want to point out, which I absolutely loved in the video, was like how he said most of the time when he gives this advice, women don't listen. So he said to the girl, he's like, I want you to listen to what I say and digest it. Don't just hear and then like give your reply. Take it in and digest it. And like she did exactly what he said most women do, because he was like, listen, you're not worth like a top 10% man's time. And she's like, but I was like, no, did you hear what I said? These are the words I'm giving you. I need for you to hold on to these, digest them, make sure you understand them. It's like, but there's more to me. I'm special.
No, my thing was he asked her some open-ended questions about herself. The funny thing is that one of the questions he asked her, what do you believe you can bring to the table to men? And she started off by saying something along the lines of, well, I can help them with their business and career and oriented, and mid sentence it just switched to all about me. And his face in the video was priceless because he just could not believe that her statement completely 180'd, and she was just talking about herself, not what she can provide or what value she can give to any man, but it would just became all about her. And I'm surprised because I'm looking at her and she seems like a lovely lady, but she didn't understand, like, it didn't process in her head that she's completely switched her statement to all about herself as opposed to answering the question. Shit was hilarious.
You know what? I have a couple takeaways from this. Um, Number one, everybody's definition of value in this, like in terms of like what she values as a man, like why does it come down to money? Number one, if it was a guy in that situation, nobody really thinks about money. To be honest, we don't. But just to piggyback off of what you said, my other issue was when it became, okay, what do you bring to the table? Like, she immediately goes into, I can help a man with, I'm with getting his business started and, getting it running good. I'm business minded, business oriented. And I just thought it was funny. It was almost hypocritical because one of the things that she said was how anytime she meets a guy when she's dating down, which I hate that phrase, but anytime she meets a guy when she's dating down, is like one of the biggest issues she has is when she says, "Oh, I have a business," they immediately go, "Oh, well, can I, how do I, like, can I invest in this? How can I help you out? Can I get like in on it, et cetera, et cetera?" Okay, if you don't want them, like, I understand you wanting the business to yourself, but if you don't want them to have anything to do with your business, why should they want you to be part of theirs if they're starting one?
Yeah,
like,
that
so why is that the only thing that you have to bring to the table?
yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me either. It's like, okay, take myself for example. Me and my partner, we have our own thing going. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got her thing, I got mine, and then we also help each other out, and we pool our resources together if need be. But aside from that, my thing is mine, hers is hers, and we've agreed upon that. That shouldn't come in between your actual relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's how I see
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. So, like, how can I put this? One of the biggest issues that I have from this whole situation is the reason why I said I hate it when I hear women say dating down. Yo, man, even when we don't have that much money, even if the girl that you're dating has a better job than you, at a certain point, if you're being a gentleman, you end up spending way more money and investing way more money in them just because you're like, hey, I'm being a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
considered normal. That's the standard.
Well, yeah, but that considers the type of man you're referring to, because there's a lot of dirtball dudes out there too.
There are, but what I'm talking about is if we're referring to like the stereotypical guys that they all talk like they want. This is and if you're talking about gender roles and all that other stuff, that's generally how it was done previously, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to go by that, it's like, okay, yeah, even if I don't have that much money, I still, while you're sitting there, men have always had the issue that women with money are realizing that they have, which is they feel like they are being used. When it comes down to it, you feel like you're being used. You're making 100,000 or more, you're like, he isn't living up to my standards. They want to be part of what I have. They should have their own stuff, right?
Yeah, basically, she didn't actually say her exact income. She said six figures.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, she said, but that's 100,000 plus. 6 figures. So,
yeah, see, that's one thing I was gonna question. Like, is that net or is that gross? Like,
yeah, like, so, but like, if you have an issue with that, like, you're now sitting there like, okay, I make X amount of money, I make more money than this guy. You're now at this point of, I feel like I'm being used. He should be bringing more to the table. Yo, even when we aren't rich, men a lot of times feel that way. Like, but that's so. Look, I'm not rich. I've dated plenty of people who I've looked at and been like, yeah, you might be a gold digger. Like, and you move on. You know what I mean? Like, so it's weird. It's like, yo, when you get money, because we're talking about equality here. And I know
no,
that
you
with
don't have that concept.
I was about to say, I know that's gonna get zero right there. Like,
No. We're not doing that today, nigga. We're not doing that today, nigga. I refuse.
but I'm saying it because it's what they want. It's what they say they want. It's not what they want, but it's what they say they want. And so if that is the case, yo, that's the cost of doing business. Like, that's what comes with, hey, you got that 6 figures coming in. Yo, that's the cost of doing business. You got money now. This is what happens. Like, I'm sorry. Shoot, when I was just starting out of high school and dating some other normal person who didn't have anything, it's like, oh, they'd be like, hey, can you help me out with this? Maybe. Like, that's it. You know, it's like, you just, like, men are used to having to gauge that whole, like, whether or not you're going to be used in the scenario. And I think that a lot of times women, once they get to this point, they're still putting value on a dollar, whereas when you get money, instead what you should be valuing is that person, what they do for your life, in terms of you getting the lifestyle that you want and making sure that they're a good person. They're valuing the wrong thing is basically what I'm getting.
Well, okay, Sleepy, go ahead, because there's like 2 counter arguments that I want to bring up real quick. Go ahead, Sleepy. What is your thoughts on that video?
Well, for one, I'd like to say I think the guy was actually being maybe not the nicest, but he was being honest and he wasn't trying to be a dick. For those who really think he's being rude,
He was trying hard not to be a dick.
Nice. No. He was being as nice as he needed to be, because, like I said in the very beginning, he pointed out to her, this is what they normally do. I'm giving you this console for free, so like I need you to just take my advice. And she just sat there, but I'm better. You called yourself a 5, which means you actually think you're a 4. Like, get out of here.
Yo, I think he was nice. The only thing that I think anybody could have possibly really been upset about was his tone, but what he said was as nice as he could have said it. Like, to be honest, with still being truthful.
Okay, let me ask Sleepy. Are you finished with your thought?
Sleepy got interrupted.
Yeah, Sleepy got interrupted. Are you finished with your thought, sir?
well, for the most part, I think everything I would have said kind of got covered. Only thing I really add to it would be, I do believe he's trying to get. He did say what he needed to say, and she really seems to be anyway missing the point of him just being nice and being honest, and and other people would say brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he did answer the question, and he said himself, "I'm not like the master of all men. It's not like I can tell you how to rewrite someone's programming, but this is the bottom line. This is what it is, and this is the scenario we have. This is what we got to deal with. What our cards are." While you do want someone who more or less is, for lack of a better word, top of the pecking order, you technically don't have enough credentials to be in that order of those who actually want that you're asking for. But that's to say, it's not possible to get a good guy that she will be happy with, but she's gonna have to set her standards a little bit lower, and which in no shape, way, or form is a bad thing.
Look, you guys are all being too nice. She's got to set her standards a lot lower. Like, you make 6 figures, but looking at you, you are a gas station attendant level.
I still feel sad.
Okay.
Until someone brought me down how much that you make, and ever since then, I couldn't take that thing seriously.
Go ahead, Zero.
Well, the 2 points that I wanted to make, that what men value and women value are 2 different things. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And women like to say that when Bandit was talking about being equal, they don't want really equality. What they want is special treatment.
Exactly.
Privileges, sir, privileges.
Special treatment, privileges, whatever the case may be.
Mind you, I just want to clarify that I am not saying you're wrong at all. I'm not disagreeing with you when I said what I said. I knew you were going to go there. But,
No.
I'm just
I understand that. And so what I wanted to let the audience know, as far as the view, I think everybody on this panel about the video, was the unrealistic expectations that most women have about their men. Period. back in the 40s and 50s, women didn't work as much. Now women are in the workforce as droves. And a very popular conversation, I'm gonna keep it short, is that they want traditional men that have all the values. So that means they pay all the bills, they take care of everything around the house, but when it comes to women investing into the relationship, investing into whatever the man is doing, it's not fair. There is all the responsibility and accountability for the men, but none for the women. And so the reason that I think this video went viral is because it hit home for a lot of women. She was 35. If most people are somewhat red pill, they know the wall is 30. What that means for some people that don't know is that normally when a woman hits about 30, that her value starts decreasing because she can no longer have children safely. Pretty much, that's the nice way of putting it. And so, when we look at that and we look at her as a caller coming in saying she's 35, and all the things that Kevin said were accurate. The last thing I'm gonna touch on is tone. People say, well, his tone was off. That's because the equality that we're talking about. Kevin talked to her like he would talk to another dude on the street. Straight up with no chaser whatsoever. And we're not used to that when it comes to women because we want to have empathy for them. Oh, she's a woman. We need to build her up. When some women say that, I'm like, bitch, y'all on the pedestal so high, I need to knock some of y'all motherfuckers down. Because y'all up there.
I'm sorry.
Another
Like,
reason for him
homie.
to be the sledgehammer. Just go around. I'm gonna knock the bottom brick out of this pedestal right here.
Hold on. I've been waiting to say something real quick just to go ahead and give a better idea. Now, gentlemen, this is just a centering question, but do y'all love your lives? Do you like being alive? You like living?
Of course.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. Good. So, the reason I bring that up, you all probably already know the ideal that women have. Let's say that you guys are walking, and where you're walking, there's a sidewalk and there's a road beside the sidewalk. What would most women want want the walking position to be? How do you know? How do you think they want that arranged?
They want to be in the inside, being protected from the dangers of the road.
Yeah, and you on the outside, and that's a very common ideal that women have. But I don't like it because I like living. Why do I need to throw my life away? Why can't you just be aware? Why can't we go in single file? I mean, why can't you walk in the grass if you're that pressed about it?
Follow behind me. Something. So, no, but
all right. They're so willing to go ahead and let you throw everything away for them, and a lot of women have that mentality, which is why they think, yeah, I deserve a 6-figure man. I deserve what was it? They call it the 3 6s. 6 figures, 6 foot, 6 pack.
Ah, okay. It's the first time I've heard that.
Come on, man. We've talked before. You don't listen to me?
Shut up, nigga.
Only sometimes.
I mean, you talk, bro. You really saying anything?
Yeah, I'm done with all of you. I'm done with all of you.
Love you.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's a mentality that a lot of women carry around, and they think it's okay, but then at the same time, most guys are getting fed up with it because I'll ask another question. How many of you guys think that you've ever been free lunch on a phone before?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
It's probably
It's quite a possibility.
Can you explain what that means to the viewers, just in case they don't know, or the listeners? Excuse me.
Oh yeah, it's a very common concept from the male point of view. You think you're going ahead and spending time trying to develop a relationship with somebody, and you'll take them out on dates, dinner dates, lunch dates, whatever. But that female person you're talking to has no interest in you whatsoever. But instead of saying, "Oh no, I'm not interested," they'll go ahead and be like, "I'll just get this free food and string him along."
Yeah.
And it takes realizing some action, catching her with somebody else or something. You be thinking you're on the way into a relationship, and she's like, "We gonna get Chipotle." That's it.
Yeah, she
And, like,
she friend zone your ass without you even knowing.
And like the reason I bring it up is because again, that's like the privileges that they're looking for. Because I guarantee you, there's never been a man that's been in the position to put someone in their phone as free food and then be a female.
But see that, and that goes back to what I was saying with my point. I'm not gonna go back into it, but we ain't gotta be rich to have that issue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't have to be rich to have that issue.
Shit, you don't even have to be average to have that issue.
You don't. You
Below
really don't.
average men have that issue.
Like, they get the six figures and they get issues that every man has, and they're upset.
Well, yeah, that's the equality part that I'm sitting here talking about. It's not really equal. And I don't think it ever will be
I
equal.
agree.
Listen,
I agree,
listen. My personal point of view is, I'm all for equality, but like you said, it's not really equal. If most women, and not all, let's be clear about this. There are a lot of great women out there that have stable mindsets and have realistic expectations no matter who they're dating, whether it's a successful or an average man. There are those
The older
women.
you get, the more likely that is. The younger you are, the less likely you're going to find that.
So
I'm just going to say that. Continue, sir.
So, with that being said, as far as the equality issue, is that they claim they want equality, and I'm all for it. I'm behind that, me personally. But are they ready for what equality really brings? Like real equality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with all the bullshit that men do, you have to do. Simple. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that. They want the label of equality while still keeping their special privileges. And again, it's not every woman, but it's most.
It's the majority. And like an example I would love to give, just thought of this. If I was in a relationship and my girl was a breadwinner and I had no job and we were going out somewhere and when we were walking to the car, I decided to start an argument because she did not open my door, I would not be in that relationship for like very long. But there are women in the same position, and that is an argument every day. I should be treated like a princess even though I have no job. I don't clean the house. I stay here eating the food you buy for us and whatnot. But you ain't open my door? How dare you not take the privilege to do that for me?
Like,
it's not a thing for guys.
You're absolutely correct. And then one of the issues that I have is the moment a lot of them actually do get a job where they have that kind of money, then they feel like it just throws off a whole power dynamic in the relationship, because then they feel like what you say doesn't matter. I've seen that. I'm not saying that it's everybody. I'm just saying because I know from personal experience with what I've seen people, like certain women do once I got a job and I make more than him now.
Oh, I know the certain women you talking about.
Yeah, I got a job. I make more than him now. I make the rules. Like, yo, hold up. You know what I mean? Like,
and it bothers some people because that person's been carrying the weight for 10, 20 years. And then now that you start making some money, then it becomes a problem. But see, that's where when I talk about equality and true equality and accountability and responsibility. Because when it don't matter, to me, it don't matter male or female. We're a team. We are one. So for me, specifically, my standpoint is that as a man, I'm going to be leading. And the reason that is because if anything bad happens, I'll take the brunt of it. My family may get a little bit of it, but I'm going to be taking the brunt.
exactly.
And I think a lot of men have those expectations, but when women get a position of power, instead of elevating the guy that they're with, they bring him down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. You're absolutely correct though.
Yeah, well,
There was something else I was about to say about it. There was something else. Go ahead.
on a final note, that shit was fucking hilarious at the end because that dude got so mad. He's like, get the hell off my phone.
Right.
Right.
That's because
The reason
people
he got
waste
so
his
mad-
time.
No, the wasted time, but like he said it in the beginning. Listen to what I said, and then like it was just like she was on the phone. I'd like to order a pizza. We only sell burgers. So type of pizza I want, ma'am, we only sell burgers. Do you have like a
Oh, it's like the
cheeseburger
lady
pizza?
who
Get off my
called
phone.
Taco Bell and got mad about fries. And
Oh
then
my
they ended
God.
up having the taco fries. Like, that's the same kind of privilege. But
Yeah.
so I remember the other thing I wanted to say real quick. Because he told her about all the stuff that she has baggage wise and why people that are making that kind of money are not checking for her, right? And I just wanted to chime in and ask you guys this, because like all she kept saying was, I make six figures, I make this, I make that. What would it take for any of you guys? Like, what is your criteria for if a girl has a kid? What are the things that you're looking for? Is her making six figures on the list?
Not really,
Hell
no.
no.
Not really, no.
No,
That girl's money has never been on the list. Like,
Exactly. Like,
If
and I'm
she's
just
got a
like,
kid?
oh my god, it's so backwards. She's got a kid though. So what would it take for you to actually talk to her? Because I feel like that's one of the things that
I mean,
we're in this situation
chemistry,
we want to know.
chemistry, getting to know her personality, what her values are, so you can make an uninformed, your connection between each other, and just basic stuff, so you can make a valued decision on whether you want to pursue this relationship with this person who so happens to have a child. In my personal opinion, having a child or not has never been and will never be the crux of a relationship. I've always been told, and I've always told other people that just because you have kids, that has nothing to do with your relationship. I mean, it's a big part of who you are, but it's not. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's not the crux of your relationship.
well, see, now I'm on the opposite spectrum. If a chick's got a kid, then like the only way that I'll seriously talk to her is either one, the dad has full custody and she's got no contact, or two, motherfucker's out the house. Like,
Well,
kids take up a lot of time, and like, I'm not willing to put in the effort to develop that relationship when I know there's going to be a bunch of times where I'm ignored and it's just going to hamper the relationship.
Like,
well, I mean, it. Like I said, it depends on the person. So, I mean, it is what it is.
So the point of me saying that was basically, it depends on the person, but at no point does money come in.
Yeah.
And everybody has certain values that they look for. And I understand that, if you're making six figures and every chick is trying to talk to you, if you got things going for you, I gotta think that they would be lower on the totem pole unless they just had that chemistry that you were like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna go for it. That's it. There's really not a, we don't go, oh no, but she's business minded, she has this. So I just, when it was like, okay, what do you bring to the table, I kind of laughed at that still, because I was like, not only was what she said hypocritical, but it's definitely not something that anybody was worried about. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to the RCP podcast. Be sure to join our Discord where you can participate in the shenanigans. Link will be in the description. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more on YouTube.